What's up, Robert?
How's it going?
Robert's been here helping me today. We're going to talk about draw big or go home. Okay, so this is lawyer Greg McIntyre. I'm at work on a Sunday, and we're just hanging out, okay? And what I've been doing, and what you can see here, is tons of markers right here. Different Sharpies, colored Sharpies, and kind of a plan that we were working on about, doesn't really matter what it was about, but it was about doing some seminars that are coming up, about a book we have coming out called Rockstar Lawyer, and about everything that goes along with that. And what I mean is, and the reason I entitled this post or this episode Draw Big or Go Home is if you are not using a large piece of poster board or whiteboard. I was telling Robert I have a room in my office that before I filled it up, okay, that which is another episode, is talking about getting enough office space, by the way, because I found that the more I have, the more money I'll make, and the more I'll fill it up, okay, with things to do, and that my mind will fill up that space and actually occupy that physical space, which is a weird phenomenon, but it does happen. And but you know, I had made a room in my office, just nothing but whiteboard paint on the walls, so I could go in there, and I called it the war room, and we were going to go in there and, you know, like a madman, and just draw on the walls and explore out ideas, whether it be a case or business planning, whatever it was. And I love to do cases this way too. Even break down large strategic plans for clients that way. It allows me to get all my mind on paper, my thoughts, and capture my thoughts. Much like mind mapping, but mind mapping, I never have jived exactly with mind mapping. I've done a decent amount of mind mapping. I've even employed mind mapping with clients, okay? Mind mapping is, you can find programs that let you mind map, but if I pulled out mind maps that I've done them on construction paper with tons of colored Sharpies, okay? And now mind mapping, I will say that and with some clients that are just really scattered or disorganized or things are all over the place, mind mapping is a great way to relate one thing to the other and allow for the client to see that and go through that exercise with the client right there on paper, and they start just going in a different direction and talking about all these other things that they wouldn't have thought about, and you're capturing that on paper as you go. So mind mapping can be a great tool, but the way I think, I usually have it in my head anyway, and I don't want to forget it. So I want to vomit it out to a really, really large space, okay? The larger the better. I love going to North Carolina State University has this new library, the Hunt Library, and it's got a book robot, and it goes out in the warehouses and gets your book. There's no books in the actual library; it's in a warehouse that's attached to the library. But it looks like a freaking spaceship. It's like 5-6 stories, you know, but it starts way off the ground. It looks kind of like a spaceship. But you go in there, and they've got these rooms that the entire walls are. So the entire rooms are nothing but whiteboards, okay? And you know, I've even taken my son up there, and he'd be doing his calculus homework on the walls while I'm sitting in there jamming on the TV screen that is in the library that I've got my laptop on, right? And then I'd get up and write on the walls. You know, I just being confined in my head is not a good place for me to be, because I can't get everything out. And I want to, if I can just get everything out on as large a space as possible, and I hate limiting my space even to a poster board size paper, to be honest with you, okay? There's a lot of things, Robert, and if you'll look at this sheet of paper that we were working on, I jam-packed about every space there full of something, okay? And Robert, I know that I talked about where I was running out of space. I bet you we could take each section of this that we did, and we could get a separate sheet of poster board and expand out on each one. And that's a great idea. That's something we need to do. Okay, and so draw big or go home. That's just a nice way or a good way, nifty way of saying that that if you're doing anything that's worth doing, you want to get all your ideas out. And I'm going to tell you what. I grew up and I was a very creative and artistic guy, and I also have this this rigid mentality and way of thinking too, which is very odd. But it's hard for me to express myself just by typing on a keyboard and the laptop. It's hard for me to express it the way I want to get it out in different colors, and I'll take a different color for a different topic, and I'll mark off sections, and I want to separate things out in different colors and ideas in different colors, because if you make it all one color, it just all runs together, and when I look at it, it's just all one big red text paper or black text paper, right? And if I'm typing on the computer, I don't have that. I have a tool, right? This tool mentality that we've had since we were, early on in our evolution, where I'm doing something with my hands, and that's connecting in a special way with my noodle, with my brain. So I fully believe, and it's not just that I believe that. There's sound research behind that, by the way, if you want to look that up, that if you really want to remember something and connect in a different way to yourself and get ideas out of yourself and your head in a different way, pick up a tool and use it like a pencil or a pen. If you want to get really wacky, use different pens in different colors so you can really get it out. And what you'll find after you do that as well is it becomes a real part of you. And it will do it somewhat by outlining it, okay, in the computer. And really a good thing for me to do is once I've gotten it out on a large surface like this, is then to go back and break this outline down in the computer so that I can start organizing, whether it be testimony or other strategies or a business strategy, and I can email that around and it can be usable as a digital item too. What I did with these, or what I do with these after I'm done, is I will use an app like Genius Scan to go in and to snap a picture of it. And, Genius Scan is not just a picture. For people who see me doing that, like, hey, Greg's taking a picture of that. No, I'm really taking a scan of it. It lets you identify the edges, and it'll usually auto-identify the edges pretty well, and then convert that just automatically to a PDF document. It's very high quality. I mean, you use your iPhone 6 Plus like I have, and you're a baller with the best phone, which is what you should have. Step your phone game up. Then that's going to be, very high quality where you can zoom in to different parts and really break that down and use that in the future to write your bullet point list, or delegate that to someone else to write the list and get that out to your team or whoever needs it, okay? And save it for posterity, right? Because you know what? This idea that you wrote down and broke down, or this case you worked on, you might want to come back to it one day and check it out. So draw big or go home. That's the idea behind it, is to really fully maximize your potential and your ideas and get them out of your head onto paper. And that's what we did. That's what I did. And just wanted to share that with you. And I hope you have a great week. It's Sunday, April 17th, and kick ass this week, okay? Have a great day.